Guys, it's official. I have now lost my mind. Oh my God! 11,000 RPM. Now to the untrained eye, this might just look like any other Talaria Sting, but you'd be sorely mistaken. Hidden behind this red, fancy battery cover is actually an absolute beast of a battery. Let me tell you some specs on it. So this battery inside my bike here is a 40 kilowatt powerhouse of a battery using P45V MOLICEL cells, max charge 92 volts. This bike is putting out 92 volts when it's fully charged. Not only this, in theory, this should help my social motor reach a higher RPM, which I'll be showing you later on today. On my 72 volt, my max RPM was 10,700, so I'm really excited to see if we can beat that. Despite being an 82 volt 45 amp hour, I've still managed to make it fit exactly the same way that my 72 volt did. Not only does this battery put out a much higher peak power of 40 kilowatts, it also does a much higher continuous at 22 kilowatts. So this is really going to be putting my motors through the test. And for today, I've switched back to the 48 tooth sprocket, but I do have a 32 tooth and a 38 tooth to test in future on my supermotos. So without further ado, let's gear up. I'm putting all my safety gear on today. I'm not taking any chances, and we're going to go out, hit the roads, and see exactly what this bad boy battery can do. Well guys, would you look at that? 91 volts, 99%. It's weird seeing that high of a figure on there. GPS speedo, this is on my phone, so it is a little bit slower than the speedometer, but you should be able to see they are correct. My chest plate on, we've got, what have we got? We've got 90 volts left in the battery, 96%. I've set the TC1000 controller to full whack. One thing I will say is that on this high throttle, the high power application with this battery, I do have a lot of deadband on the torque with it turned all the way to the minimum, which I don't like. But we'll see how we get on with it. I'll show you the stats in a little while. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little pull here. Whoa! I'm going to try and keep the front down. This is actually insane on a 48 tooth sprocket. I'm going to pull out the tour pack. We are GPS accurate. I tested it in my last video with the draggy side by side. This is properly calibrated for my tyre and wheel size. Here we go. Okay guys, so we've got the torque pack here. Let's see our stats. 98 miles per hour, 26.5 kilowatts, 11,000 RPM, so that is up 300 RPM, and I have the field weakening turned down. We hit 98 miles per hour, motor current 86. So actually this is putting less strain on the motor, so it's pulling less phase amps, but getting to a higher top speed still because of the extra volts. 98 miles per hour. I can't keep the front wheel down if I give it a little bit of gas. I might have to go back down to the 38 sooner than I thought. Oh my God. So although I'm not pulling much more power overall, only 1 kilowatt more than I pulled on my other battery in the last video, I am having a much higher top speed because of that added voltage. Ready? I'll give it a little burst from 20. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, wheel spin! Ah! This is insane. I'm actually going to go down into eco. The GPS does lag a touch behind the speedo, just because the speedo's connected to the motor and the app's connected to the satellite, which is obviously, I'm near a forest, so it's a bit slower, but we'll go into sport again. Okay, now we're in sport. I really don't like this torque display and the way that it works. I think it's a bit hard to use, if I'm honest. Okay, let's guys. What do we get then? Psst. That was 27.2 kilowatts. What, if you're new to these controllers, what happens is when you have a high power battery, if you're accelerating, let go, then accelerate again, you can actually inflate your figures because it has to put that through a little bit more power just to re-accelerate. For that split second, you'll peak higher. So right now we've just peaked 27 kilowatts. I'm back into the woods, back down to eco. Okay, turn the power down a bit, back in eco. Oh no, we're in sport again. I just don't get this fucking torp thing. Ah, okay, I got it. So only the top button does the modes, which is a bit dumb. Like minus should be down a mode and plus, or whatever. Got it. We're in eco, we're at 10 kilowatts, which is plenty for inside a forest. If anyone in the winter has ever ridden one of these when it's a bit muddy and the leaves are slippery, 10 kilowatts is still quite a handful. Now, my honest thoughts on this 80 volt battery. This is my first time using it. Do you need one? Should you go out and spend the extra, you know, 500 to 1,000 on top of your 72 volt? No, I don't think you do. Is it fun? Yes, I do enjoy it. Also, if I wasn't making content and I was just, which way? Oh, that way. If I wasn't making content and I was just, you know, spending money just for my hobby, I mean, it is a hobby, but you know what I mean. Like, obviously I do get deals and sponsorships occasionally. Would I go out of my way and pick the 82 over the 72? I don't think I would. If money was no object, I'd probably buy the P50V battery, or one of those, just because it has a bit more range and slightly more power. I think it's like between 3 and 5 kilowatts more, which I'm not going to ever be pulling anyway. But yeah, I do think that this has added a little bit extra over the top of my 72 volt that I previously had. Are you going to see it in a real world situation if you line the two bikes up next to each other and have a drag race? I think it's going to be highly negligible until you're doing 75, 80 miles per hour and up. You can't really keep the front wheel down at a lower speed once you go over sort of 16 kilowatts anyway. So from a get-go, you almost want like a launch control or a wheelie control. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun. I'm going to use it. It's nice that it still fits in as it does without being too big and bulky. But I don't think it would be a deal breaker necessarily personally. Now, future uploads, guys, I've got some really exciting stuff planned. I have 2 more bikes. One is on the way and one I already have and have been working on in the background. What I'm noticing with the Torp is on eco the throttle is really nice and smooth, but when I put it in sport and really crank that power up, I can't. I've got, look, too much of a dead band. And this is a domino throttle, which is better than a standard throttle, but they have a dead band on the app which you can't turn down anymore. Okay guys, so we are back. Give you a quick snapshot of our peaks. So on this social motor we hit 11,206. Sorry, on this social motor we hit 11.26k RPM, so 11,260 RPM, which is crazy for an FWO2 like this. Top speed 98 miles per hour, 27.3 kilowatts, 867.2 phase amps. So we've gone up 1.5 kilowatts. We've gone up what have we gone up? 500 RPM. The motor's only reaching 67 degrees Celsius peak, which is its warmest because of this 48 tooth I've switched back down to. So this 98 miles per hour, I think we'd get over 100 out of it once we switch down to the 38 tooth or the 32 tooth. Will be just insane. But yeah guys, so those are the peaks. Now for my final thoughts, what do I think of the 82 volt? Should you buy one? Well guys, to be honest, I wouldn't let it sway your decision. If you're gonna ride long distance trails and you want the maximum range, an 82 volt might not be the best option for you. You're probably better going with something like a 72 volt 60 amp hour or something, whatever you can get your hands on, the biggest. Even the 72 volt 55 amp hour had quite a bit more range than this. It was over 10% more range, but you didn't get that extra RPM or that extra kilowatt when we were pulling the throttle back. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed today's video guys. I am happy with the battery. I just wish it was like a 50 amp hour, 55 amp hour, but yeah, overall very happy with the way it performs. I'm sure you're gonna agree with me. It's pretty crazy what you can get out of a Talaria Sting now. But yeah, stay tuned guys, and I'll be back next week with an important build video. Also guys, we're approaching 5,000 subscribers. I'm going to be doing a limited run of my own merch, and we're also going to be building up a bike that I'm going to be selling the cheapest modified Surron on the market back to one of my subscribers. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next week.